I'm going to call the meeting to order with 7:04.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Motion that the board of mayor boards to approve the minutes of the regular meeting August 1st, 2023. Can I receive copies for review?
Second.
Questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion the board of mayor boards to approve the monthly report of August. Can I receive copies for review?
Second.
Questions? Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So, we have a pretty lengthy agenda tonight. We're in the heart of many of our construction projects, so we have a lot going on. So, I'm gonna ask this question. If we need a special meeting this month, because what's been happening is that late in the month, everything happens and comes in, and there's time limits, and we have to be ready for meetings pretty quickly. So, if we need a second meeting this month, I guess I'm looking to know what dates we should try and avoid if possible.
Yeah, like all of next week.
The 19th, you got the
Yeah,
police.
so we skip next week anyway.
Okay.
The 19th, you got the police, the promotion, and the monthly meeting.
What day of the week is that?
Tuesday.
So 20 or 21, something like that?
Twenty-first is good.
So it'd probably be, all right, the 20th or the 21st.
Either way is good.
First, we'll probably go for Thursday. Okay, public comment. We will open up, the floor for public comment. Anyone in the room first, and then we'll go to Zoom. Is there anyone in the room that would like to make a public comment? Yes, come forward.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Farrington from 599 High Street, and I was told by a couple people to come up here and talk to y'all about the retaining wall out front of my house. I said there's the whole bunch of different sidewalk projects happening right now, and that our retaining wall was built like years and years ago, I think, by the Civil Corps of Engineers, and it's falling apart. And we were wondering if it was Naugatuck's job, like responsibility, to pay for the funding of that
All right, so
reconstruction.
Jim, are you familiar with her property?
We are. Last I talked to Fred, he couldn't find a right-of-way map, so he was looking into it. Did you hear anything?
I did. Fred basically told me they're not sure what to do about it, but he said that it would be great if I could come and talk to y'all. I also talked to Charles Marengi. Hi. I'm sorry. I actually never met you before.
Yeah. Put a beard to the face. There you go.
Nice to meet you. So I was talking with you, pardon me, this week, and I guess you would recommend we just come talk to you guys because you're in the middle of trying to figure out what to do with different sidewalks and projects and stuff like that.
All right, so I would suggest, you have a map of your property?
Somewhere. We're right directly across from Sibby's Automotive. I should have brought one with me. And there's like
The wall on High Street.
yeah, the wall on High Street. And we're not looking for just like government handouts. We're happy to help with it, but I was proposing that possibly if there was any funds that were allocated towards sidewalks, if possibly Naugatuck, the town of Naugatuck would be willing to split the cost half and half with my husband and I, like half, like we would pay half of it and you guys could help us pay half of it. I
So
don't
the
know
wall
if
is
that's,
crumbling.
it's falling apart pretty bad. And
So is it maybe on town property, Jim? Do you know?
We expect it's a reasonable guess.
So if it's on town property, we can probably find a way to help you. But we really need to have, Jim, this is Jim Stewart and Fred, first determine if it's on town property. And if it is, then, I guess we'll look into, a solution and then we could have a discussion. So we have all your information, your name,
Yeah,
your
and-
address.
I'm not looking for an answer tonight. I just wanted to talk to you.
Well, I know, but it's good to know, you know, the
Yeah,
facts. before
For
we
sure.
talk.
Fred has been looking into it for the last 2 weeks. And he hasn't found a map stating whether it's the town property
Right.
or whether it's our property. So it's sort of like unknown. There is a thing of there's stairs and the stairs are falling apart and nobody uses those stairs except us and one time firemen when they came up to put out a fire. Another time policeman who was chasing somebody, he was running away from them. But I'm just saying nobody almost ever uses them. We would like to maintain them as stairs, just because then it would retain the value for anybody else who might purchase our property if they have children who would need to walk down the stairs to get on the school bus to go to school. So that we would like to retain the stairs. And
All right, so Jim, I'm gonna assign you to get the information.
that would,
Fred,
be
I
great.
believe, is on vacation this week. And then when he comes back, we'll, sort it out and then contact you.
Okay.
Make sure Jim has your information.
Yeah.
You have my number.
Thank you. All right, any other public comment in the room? Okay, any public comment on Zoom? If you'd like to speak, raise your hand, go in the chat box. Do something so we know you'd like to be heard. All right, second call, any public comment? Last call for public comment. All right, we will now move, I'm gonna skip over Kyle's report. And, Naomi, I would like you to come forward with, your child and everyone else. Yep, yep. Mike, forward. Okay, so, Naomi, first of all, why don't you introduce yourself?
Naomi Mapanani, Kapana Toku, Medicine Toku, Dad, Evolution of Evolution Sister, and this is Elizabeth, mother, and this is Papa.
Okay, so Naomi has brought to our attention, a real problem in society. I'm gonna try and pronounce it, Separate. All right, so, she'd like us to be aware of it and to name, today as Listen Separate Awareness Day. September 8th, meaning Friday. So on this Friday and every Friday in the borough of Naugatuck, we will recognize this day. And I'll just say a little bit about it. Leukoencephaly is a rare gene-linked brain malformation causing the brain to have less or no ridges and folds, making it appear smooth. It is estimated that 1 in 100,000 individuals are born with this condition. And people living with this condition also suffer from hypertonia, epilepsy, swallowing disorders, developmental delays. And this is a complex issue, so to address the complex needs early in life, it's important to help families successfully care for their children at home. And there's a great need for education, awareness, and support. So it's appropriate that one day a year we be set apart to recognize the problem in society. And Naomi, first of all, thank you for bringing this to our attention. And I'm going to sign the proclamation right now. And September 8th, this year and every year, urging all of our citizens, patients, caregivers, medical professionals, agencies, organizations to unite in observance of this day. So thank you for bringing this to our attention. And I'd like to present you with this official borough proclamation.
Absolutely. No, you could have come, that's all right.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That's my wife, that's the second.
She has been wonderful. She doesn't know that I just thank you. Thank you to the whole team, though. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I left something inadvertently off the agenda. My first mistake of the year. So I'd like to entertain a motion to add to the agenda an extension of the lease for property on Andrew Mountain Road with Sunset Lane. Motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so, Caitlin, Betty, why don't you come forward and tell us what's going on?
I've seen just some photos. All right. Thank you. We wanted to just provide some updates on how the land has been going for us since we last spoke with you, which she was very tiny. I was thinking when you're here, she'll be one in a couple of weeks. It's been going really well at the lot that we're leasing. We're very thankful for the lease that we've entered into. Just to tell a quick story about the year, you know, we have, when we first got there, the knotweed was like 4 feet high. So we cultivated almost the entire lot into production, as you can see in the bottom right corner. You know, a lot of tomatoes, a lot of eggplant, onions, leeks, watermelons, winter squash, things like that. Because of the extra land that we've been able to lease, our business has doubled. And it's been excellent. We've been able to contribute a lot more to the local economy here in Naugatuck. We've also been able to donate a lot of food. In the bottom left corner is a photo of like one of the many donations we've made to the Naugatuck Valley Soup Kitchen because we have more growing space, so we have more food to donate. We've always liked donating food, but we've struggled in the past just because we haven't had enough with like an acre that we were growing on. Another great thing that we've been able to participate in is we worked with Naugatuck Youth Services this summer, and we hosted 4 youth that worked on the farm. I was very proud of them. They stuck it out for the 6 weeks. We were also able to host a group from the Yale Harvest Program, where 8 incoming Yale students camped on the farm for 4 days, learned about agriculture. That's something we wouldn't have been able to do in the past, just have the space to do that. And we're currently still planting on there now. We're in the process of doing some of our final field plantings. So the top left-hand corner, that's our sign, and that's some kohlrabi and bok choy that we planted. So yeah, we would really, one of the main reasons that we'd like to extend the lease is there's a lot of federal grant opportunities that we're able to apply for, and you have a better chance if you have a more secure land tenure situation. We've received a lot of grants. We've been very thankful from the USDA NRCS, the National Resource Conservation Society. You can keep applying for funding every year. To get into a bigger pool of funding, you have to have a more secure land tenure, like I said. So it would be great to have, you know, maybe a well put on the property, something solar powered, maybe a small, like we can apply for cover crop seeds that can help nurture the soil, make it more productive. We did some soil tests. The soil quality is not that great. We've worked on improving it. So all of this can be achieved by having a longer lease and allowing us to invest in the property a little bit more. And we can also host more community programming. You know, I'd love to take on more Naugatuck youth next year. You know, we have 4. I'd love to be able to take on, you know, 8 or 10, and having more infrastructure on the property and things like that would allow us to do so.
And the well is in $50,000.
A well would be very expensive. Again, we're working with it's the National Resource Conservation Society, so it would be solar powered. There'd be like very minimal impact on the land. But yes, there is no water, so we've been currently bringing water over in a 275-gallon tank. So to water everything on that field, we have to do that 5 times a day. And it was a wet year. So like right now, it was a very hot day today. We're in like a 90-degree stretch. We're gonna have to water for about 4 hours tomorrow. It just trips back and forth from our house to the field. So we would like to not do that. And yeah, and yes.
And so what you're asking us is to extend your lease to a 10-year lease on the same terms in order for you to be incentivized to get the money and invest it in a well and other improvements.
The more that we invest in this property, the more we can become kind of a mainstay too with community programming. It's really challenging for us to do a lot of community programming at the property at our house because it's literally at our house. There's like, you know, it's kind of awkward. Just some stuff with that, and it's smaller and it's not as flat and just available for activities. Whereas, you know, I've spoken a lot with Kate Murphy at Naugatuck Public Schools around doing, you know, some farm to school programming, things like that. This is the perfect place to do that. So we'd love to just continue to be more involved in the community.
Do we have any questions? Okay.
Happy to answer.
I just have a comment. Unlike America's Got Talent, we don't have a golden bunker. If we have one, we don't.
Thank you. We really appreciate everyone's support. The town, everyone's been very supportive. This has really allowed us, like I said, our business has literally doubled. So we're just so thankful. Farmland access is a huge issue in Connecticut. Like if we did not have this space, I'm not sure what we would do. Like a lot of young farmers our age are just really having trouble finding properties like this that are, you know, available. So we greatly appreciate the support of the town.
All right, so I will entertain the motion that I be authorized to enter into the 10-year extension to our existing lease with Sunset Farms on the same rental terms.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Jan is on tape for like 2 seconds, so I guess I'll make the motion. Any questions or discussion on the motion?
Thank you.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, just looking back on, number 8, maybe since it's here, we probably should adopt that motion to the proclamation, so.
Motion. Motion that the board of Burgess President. November 2023. Less successfully, awareness of the world of
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right, we will now entertain a brief monthly report from Kyle Kelly from Margaret Hampton.
Good evening, everyone. I have two quick things. One, I just want to say it's been 2 years since this endeavor, and it's been a heck of a 2 years. And I'd like to just go on the record saying I'm very, very proud of where we are and what we've done with the support from Mayor Hess, the Board of Burgesses, our Board of Directors, the community, as well as all of our teammates that we have working for us. We've come leap years. It's just amazing the things that we've turned around in town. And I want to thank everybody there for the support. We have a new ambulance that we just came in that'll be going into service. And we're pressing on doing great things. So I won't take any more of your time. I know you guys have a long night. So if there's any questions, I'm here.
Any questions for Kyle?
Good.
All right, thank you, Kyle. All right. Item 9, townwide sidewalk improvements construction. Next Stewart, why don't you bring us up to date?
So as you know, we have $200,000 in an account for a pilot project sidewalk improvements in town. As directed last month, I put out a bid to our 7 approved construction contractors for replacing those sidewalks. Bids are due and open on the 19th, so hopefully at the October meeting, I can come back here with a recommendation to award that.
And remember, this is a pilot program where we're going to try and come up with a formula that we can utilize going forward for ultimate the entire town. Questions for Jim? Okay, so we'll see you
Next month.
All right, thank you. All right. Item 10, facade improvement program. And you have to attorney Fitzpatrick in. Did anyone receive his proposed facade improvement program in draft form?
Right.
All right. So, here's what I think we should do. And some silence. Okay, so we have a first draft of a facade improvement program, and what I want to do is make a few comments, and then we'll copy it and hand it out to everyone, so everyone can read it. And next month we will try and get it to a point where we can move it forward. So Ned, just 2 initial comments. Number 1, this is not ARPA money, it's TIF money, PIF, tax incremental financing funding. And
Got it.
Number 2, and I'm just throwing this out to see if everyone agrees, but I think the concept that everyone on a preliminary basis seems to like the best is one where if there were I'll just say a $40,000 project, the incentive would be $20,000, in other words, 50%, but the incentive would be made at the beginning and in a loan format. But the loan would be forgiven over a 5-year period as opposed to giving them money 5 years in a row, because that's not as much of an incentive, because they in essence have to put up 100% rather than 50%. So is that essentially where we were trying to go? Right.
Yes.
So Ned, I would ask you to make that change. And then I think if you could email those 2 changes to me and to every Burgess, we could review them over the next month. And at the next meeting, if we're far enough along, we'll be in a position to implement it. If we need more information, we'll get more information.
Very well.
Or any questions or concerns?
We expanded the area on that.
Yeah, so let's,
Yep.
so, okay, it's the 5th district plus North Main Street plus Bridge Street. Bridge
And
Street,
also Rubber Avenue and Church Street, right? TIF, that's in the TIF.
Robert, it's already in.
But we added North Main and
We
Bridge.
added North Main and Bridge.
And
Okay.
Lower Spring.
Okay. You want to go to that?
Well, I mean, that's the lower part is where Bridge is,
All right, so spring from, say,
Diamond?
spring from Bridge to, what's the next street?
Diamond Street.
Okay, got it.
And then if you
Right.
could make those changes, email it to everyone, and then everyone will think about it, study it, read it, and next month we will try and, get to the end.
Very good.
All right,
Will do.
Sounds good.
all right. Item 11,
Motion that the Board of Mayor and Burgesses approve the appointment of Terrence Sedgwick, 55 Sherman Street, Naugatuck, regular member of the Water Pollution Control Authority, filling the unexpired term of Keith Carey, term to expire February 1, 2027.
I'll just mention that Harry Sedgwick, was a very high-level person in the Waterbury wastewater operation. So he'll be a very knowledgeable addition to our water pollution control. Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion that the Board of Mayor and Burgesses adopt the following resolutions for the borough of Naugatuck East Side, West Side, connectivity and rail mitigation project as it read. Second.
All right, so as we all know, we are building a greenway on the east side of the river to extend our current greenway. And, with the help of our grant writer, he brought to our attention a new grant, which is, there's 2 grants that go together, but it's called connectivity, reconnecting communities. So what it means is that in many situations, like in Naugatuck, where the state years ago comes along and builds a highway like Newgate and bisects the town into the east side and the west side. And of course, we have a river that divides the town. We have railroad tracks. So transportation works much better when everything is connected. So under the Reconnecting Community Project, we would be looking to connect the east side to the west side with a pedestrian bridge that would cross the river. It would be right near the on-ramp and off-ramp for Route 8. So it will have, highway connectivity. and it will cross the river and the railroad tracks in that general area. And this is a grant seeking funding to design it because, you know, there are some interesting design issues. For example, you go over the tracks like Fairfield Metro and a lot of the Metro North lines, you go under. So it's an interesting design. So this is a request to apply for a grant to get funding to design the connection connecting the east side to the west side.
I can't picture where you're talking about.
Okay, so let me be more specific. So I'm going to start downtown on west side. So where the event center is,
Yeah.
and you know where the train station is going to be in the middle of parcel B,
Okay.
it'll be between those two spots, so that someone can say park their car off of Route 8, walk across the river directly to public transportation. So it's a connectivity, and also it will be for walkers who are walking downtown. If you want to walk, you know, change your route, you'll be able to walk. You know, you can walk across any of the existing bridges, across the pedestrian bridge. But the long and the short of it is you can get to downtown so that the east side and the west side are more connected.
Probably between Rich's Auto Works and Napa, right?
I would say,
So
I would
it's like,
say closer to Napa.
is it just like an extension of the walkway that goes now from like
Yeah.
over?
We did that last
Linden?
month. Like, we voted to go for the grant to extend the walkway from the bridge, the
Yeah.
Whittemore Bridge to Greenfield. So along that greenway, which will be on this side of the river near Napa, for the two highway on and off ramp side, on the other side of the river, between the event center and the train station, whatever spot works best would be the location.
So pedestrian bridge between the South Main Street Bridge and the Whitman Bridge.
Okay.
Pete. So in the winter time, the town's gonna be in control of following that, so people can get across.
The maybe, I mean, that has to be negotiated with the state. In other words, the state will be involved in the project. The state will be plowing the train station and all the parking there, and maintaining it. That is something that would be part of the planning process. But if we get the funding, it's a pedestrian walkway. It's not much of a snow plowing job, but it would be just imagine a 80-foot driveway, almost sidewalk. It's pretty much what it would be.
Well, I used to walk a lot in town, and the state doesn't do a very good job of taking care of the roadway under Route 8, going to Linden Park to North Main Street. So if we're gonna do this and make this happen, somebody's got to be responsible for that. And it's either the town or the state. And somebody's got to do it.
We have Jeremy Lennon right here.
We'd obviously rather have them plow it, but adding it to plowing.
We'd rather have them plow, but we have the ability to do it. Well, of course we have the ability. We have. That's the problem.
I mean, if there's a commuter lot on the other side.
Building station, we can come up right now. Not the state. That too. So will this come out after the bus company towards the
Very
fields?
close to that, yeah.
On the opposite side though, because not on Napa side.
Near the bus company.
Run and vision, you know where they set the booms up to catch the ducks?
Yeah.
I think that would be the narrowest or the
Yeah.
best built area.
So the key words are connectivity and rail mitigation. So the money is for, projects where rail, highways have presented barriers, connectivity. So we fit right into that category perfectly. So,
Are there like, expectations or guidelines that come along with this grant as far as like the train station being in progress or parking lots already being up and going or a certain amount of
well, first of
housing?
all, they will be, but secondly, no, because this is pedestrian. So
Okay.
this would be with people walking on the greenway, no matter what was over there, it would still be a pedestrian bridge crossing the river.
So we qualify just for having an east side and a west
Well, we
side?
didn't qualify yet. We're applying, so
Okay.
we don't know if we qualify, but you don't know unless you apply. So, we seem to meet certainly the basic criteria.
I'm not sure how many people are using the greenway.
All right, any questions? All right, we need a roll call vote. So I'm going to call it a roll.
Yeah.
Mayor, yes. Deputy Mayor,
Yes.
Charlie,
Yes.
Dorothy,
Yes.
Fran,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Megan,
Yes.
George.
Yes,
How you doing, George?
working.
All right. You gotta come back. We want to see you again. Janet,
Yes,
okay. Oh, right.
I was sitting quietly, contemplating, under the radar. Yes,
My second.
yes. That's right.
All right.
Motion that the Board of Mayor and Burgess adopt the following resolutions supporting the downtown mediation project as it's section.
All right. So, by the way, I do want to once again compliment Grant because we're doing very well and very talented. The rest is always looking for opportunities. Now, as you recall, we already have ARPA funding. We won the Connecticut Community Challenge, and we will be building a new Water Street. Now, the state will be building the train station part of it, but we'll be building Water Street, Rubber Avenue from Water Street up to Old Firehouse Road. We'll be redoing Old Firehouse Road and then building a new road from essentially the existing municipal parking lot back to the train station. So in those areas, there is a possibility of some soil suitability type work. We are planning on using our Connecticut Community Challenge funding for most of that. If we get this funding, that will free up the Connecticut Community Challenge and money for additional features and amenities in the downtown. So the grant writer has suggested this as a good opportunity to supplement financing plan for redoing downtown.
No, this is our tax money going to the state, and if we don't get it, somebody else will. And she's doing a great job of bringing that money right back to Norfolk.
I agree. All right, any questions? All right, roll call. Mayor, yes. Deputy Mayor,
Yes.
Charlie,
Yes.
Dorothy,
Yes.
Fran,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Megan,
Yes.
Roxy,
Yes.
George,
yes,
John,
Yes,
okay.
Motion that the board may reverse authorize mayor and warrant has to execute a on-call engineering agreement with SL Bar International Corporation for a lump sum of $11,500 to provide feasibility assessment proposed pedestrian bridge crossing through the TOD district. Recommended by Public Works Director James Ford. Thank you.
What? You want me to speak now?
Yes, please.
All right, so in order to win the grant, they're asking for, a conceptual plan. So, we would be, using one of our on engineers to define that plan, present, to the reconnecting community grant. I think, okay, SLR, it was the, one that came out on top.
Yes.
So SLR used to be more, they're one of our three on-call engineers.
Total cost $11,500.
Yeah, it's a very, very good price.
Yeah. What would the proposed pedestrian bridge be?
It's the same one we were just talking about.
Oh,
Yes.
He's got to figure out the exact.
I got you, okay. Well, I was curious because we're just talking about it. Yeah. So he's gonna analyze whether it's feasible to do it underground or above.
Exactly. How it could work.
Should we have done this before we did the other part?
Yeah.
Like maybe assess for it first before we
Well, I
apply?
guess the one. Well, there's a time limit, you have to get make this.
Again, by the end of September, it's to be submitted.
Oh,
I mean, you could submit without that, but you wouldn't have a chance of getting
so
it.
we're spending this money in a gamble anyway, though? So we're spending 11,500?
I would say, in a calculated manner to maximize our funding to improve downtown Martinsburg, I would say.
So that makes it sound nicer, but essentially we don't know if we're gonna get this grant, so we're spending 11,500 to
There are
potentially
there are
not get
other
this
grants you can apply for. So this.
But it's also something that we want to do anyways in the future. So we already have the assessment done. Even if we don't get that particular grant now, we apply for additional grants in the future, we will have the assessment already done.
Where's it coming from?
Coming from tax incremental funding.
Okay.
And just to remind everyone, we have 8 million set aside, for tax incremental financing for downtown.
Basically, we're spending $11,500. We're actually getting $2 million grant.
All right, question? All right, item 14, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Fourth, motion that the board may approve authorize. That's great. Year 2, consider your facilities lease agreement contract extension and number IF 2023-1 recommended by the Water Pollution Control, LTA Authority, and Public Works Director James Ford. Thanks.
Okay, so I'll take. All right, so.
I like this.
As we know, there's no sewer tax in Martinsburg. We're the only town that has like arrangement that has a sanitary sewer system. And the reason for that is our two agreements with the Veolia. And item 15 is the agreement where they pay us to lease our incineration facilities. And item 16 is the agreement we pay them to manage the wastewater. So not exactly, but essentially those two items wash each other out. So we wind up with no sewer tax. So we're in our second 20-year contract with Veolia. And every year, the contract is adjusted by CPI. So every year we vote to extend it. Now, I know we said this last year, but is it even necessary to do this?
It's up to you. You guys could vote to just give the mayor authority to sign in the future. You could do that.
Well, we've done this.
We've done this
23 years as well.
22 times, yeah.
We'll do it 22. Right?
Yeah, it's not that much work. You still go to the Water Pollution Control Board and get their approval, so.
Jim?
You want to add anything?
No, I mean, obviously it's all budgeted and everything is in line of where it should be.
All right. Yes?
Can I ask a question, Jim, while you're there? I've been getting complaints and I've seen complaints. It's that time of year again, as far as odors are concerned. And people are squawking.
Yeah.
And I know it's a lot better than it used to be. And I know it's getting better, but can you comment on what we're doing to eliminate that?
Well, they're doing their ICI, their initial capital upgrades. And many of them include odor improvements. They're replacing the covers to the primary clarifiers. And obviously when they do that, they got to take the covers off. They're replacing the dome for the sludge storage building. So they got to take the cover off. There's going to be some hiccups in between, as the work gets done. And obviously when it gets hot, and air gets stale, that's an issue. But recently the odor complaints in town, they tracked it down. It was coming from trucks going to Waterbury. So there's nothing we're going to be able to do to that, because we were getting more complaints in the northern section of town than we were in the south. So that problem is going to go away. And the issue with trucks bringing in sludge, although we work with the contractors in the towns to try to make sure that they're deodorizing their sludge before it comes, probably going to be an issue that we have to continue to deal with. But the odors from the plants should get better throughout this year and be better next year.
All right, thank you.
Just a question. Is it fair to say that the odors on the north side of Naugatuck are coming from the Waterbury operation in general?
Yes.
But the odors on the south are obviously different.
Could be ours, it could be trucks driving by. I can't blame them for everything, but as trucks drive by, if it's particularly a bad load, we've all been behind those trucks.
Yeah, when are the ICIs, which are the initial capital improvements for the 20-year deal, when are they going to be?
I'm hoping they'll be substantially complete by spring next year.
So it sounds good.
Well, it's a little bit behind schedule just due to deliveries of certain equipment.
Okay.
But costs have not increased.
Okay.
We're trying to make it smell like roses in the future.
Of course, just spraying the rose scent.
All right, so any questions? You already read this. All right, any questions or discussion on item 15? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion the Board of Managers authorize the mayor and board to sign a contract year 2 service contract for wastewater treatment system capital improvement and asset management contract administration in memorandum. And number SC 2023-1 is recommended by Burgess Authority Public Works Director James Stewart.
All right, so same discussion. This is the other half will be paid out, but again, it's adjusted as the actual premium. Question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion that the Board of Mayor authorize Mayor and Warren Hess to extend the wastewater treatment plant addition capital improvements oversight service agreement. Mike Feldman. Capitol Boulevard, Rocky Hill through June 30th, 2024, as recommended by Public Works Director James Stewart. Second.
So this is the agreement where we monitor them, and under the agreement, they pay us our fees to monitor.
Well, this is actually the
Oversight,
the oversight, so it's paid for out of the bond.
This is the ICI oversight?
Yes.
So it's not what Jim Bender used to do. It's the
No, that's the
ICI.
next, 22.
Okay. So this is monitoring the ICI.
Yeah, so it's extending it to the end of this year. Again, there's no increase in cost, it's all factored into the wastewater treatment plant bond.
And those costs were included in the bond.
Yes.
Okay, any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion that the Board of Mayor approve the affordable housing plan as recommended by Planning Commission of Town Planner, WEO, Lord of the Town. Second.
All right, so in the state of Connecticut, it's mandated that every town have an affordable housing plan. It was prepared by Lori Rotella, and for staff, Dan Nicole, Todd, and it was done, planning commission level. So by law, we have to approve this, approve a plan, in order to remain public land for, state grants and things like that. You have to have a team. So, Lori, can you summarize, I think the Burgess has already received the plan. Lori, can you summarize the plan for us?
So what we had to do in 2017, they required the towns to do the plans. And then all of the towns were not completing their plan. So 2021, it was state mandated that we have it done by 2022, which we requested an extension and received. So our plan, what happens is it's on really page 31, 32, is the actions that we want to take to try to move forward to get to our 10%, even though the state says they'd like you to see a higher, that's the number they've given everybody. So we're looking basically some immediate things is to do a zone change for the SDD one. Let me see, seek opportunities to create approval processes which are shorter. So that's another item that could help with affordable housing, is shorten up our approval process on our applications in. We're looking into removing the special permit process in the New Haven Road and the Rubber Avenue Design District for existing structures, not for new construction. We have to look back into our accessory dwelling units. In the beginning or the end of last year, I believe, is when we opted out of what the state wanted us to do. So we are looking into amending our regulations that would help with affordable housing. And also we have to update our parking regulations. We're already we're collaborating with the Naugatuck Housing Authority with the grant writing, and they received their grant to update their heat pumps over there. So that's another way to help with affordable housing. If we don't send this up to the state by October 1st, they are changing the plans that are submitted after then, and we have to then put in there how we plan to increase the number of affordable housing development in the municipality and in how we're going to improve the accessibility of affordable housing units for individuals with an intellectual disability or other developmental disabilities. We don't have this in our plan right now. We will have to do it in our next 5-year plan. So basically, like I was saying, page 31, 32 are what we are planning to do to increase our affordable housing. Is there questions? The deed restrictions?
Just have one question. In our, motion, should we have incorporated the date of 2023 to 2028?
I'm sorry, it's really kind of hard to hear you. So yeah, ours would be the Affordable Housing Plan 2023 to 2028. So by 2028, we have to update it again. This is done every 5 years. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, that's correct. Thank you.
Lori, I have one question. I know we have to have so many affordable housing units. How does the Fair Rent Commission figure in this? Do we get bonus points with the state for having a fair rent commission?
No, that was mandated because we have a population over 25,000. So we were mandated to create a Fair Rent Commission and the oh God, how we were to create that.
Yeah.
But no, that doesn't give us points. I mean, we are using it because we put it in here as one of our action items that we did do.
Thank you.
Item 3.4.
Lori,
Yes,
why shouldn't we include the plans for the other disabled people and whatnot now?
there's no way that I would be able to get that done by October 1st and have it approved by my planning commission and adopted by the borough board. That just came out with Public Act 23-137. So that came out this year. We were already done writing ours or pretty close to it when they came out with more requirements.
So my next question is, can we amend our plan to include that afterwards, or you can't?
Yes.
It's gotta be
Oh, you
5
can
years.
amend it. Every 5 years is when they want you, but you can amend it at any time.
That's right.
Okay,
It's not that we don't want to include that. It's just by the time they came out with this, we were already past that point
no,
in our writing.
okay, I'm
So we
good.
have more time to review this, correct? I feel like I'm being difficult tonight, I'm sorry.
That's right.
Well, we don't have,
Cause this is just like a lot to digest that we just got like 2 days ago.
We've had the draft
Well,
for months. The
yeah, I would say it this way, you have to do it,
I know we have to do it.
so,
We could probably
Summary is
table
on
it
the
till
front.
everybody, we could probably table it till everybody digests it before
I think what
October
it is.
1st.
you have to vote on it before when, Lori?
We have to have it up to OPM before October 1st.
I don't know what that means, up to OPM, we have to approve it and get it up there.
Correct. So the
And
planning
that's not gonna
commission,
happen.
Go.
That's not gonna happen unless we have a special meeting.
That's
Oh,
what,
we approved it tonight.
well, we either approve it tonight or have a special meeting.
It's not gonna change in the next 2 minutes.
No.
What? I think what they did was they changed some of the wording.
Yeah.
In this document from the previous document we've already removed.
Most of the document tells you
Yeah.
what the current situation is.
Right.
And to summarize it, we have 8.4% of what the state classifies as affordable housing, which is less than 10%, which is, which creates some potential legal issues. So, we're better off to be over 10. So what the plan basically says is what is being recommended by the planning commission to get over 10%. So if you look at So, um,
Page 31.
yeah, 31. Yeah, so I would say that, to summarize, what you're saying is on page 31 and 32.
Correct. And 33 is kind of the whole statutory charge.
We don't want the state to step in and tell us what we're gonna do.
Right. I think what we'll do is, I think we'll take a break in a little while. And, everyone can read this and we'll talk about it. So let's table this for now and we'll bring it up before.
I have. At length. And I found that it's not unlike most municipalities, either our size or larger. For example, Bristol, and it comes very close to this. And the changes are.
Fran, can you put that microphone in front of your mouth? I can't hear you,
Okay,
please.
listen up. It's not like, unlike.
Jen
other-
Kuyapan.
Oh, but I think Megan should be allowed to
Right,
read it. So let's just
but I
say,
just wanted to,
No, I
you know,
agree.
from my point of view, what I've seen, it's not unlike documents from other municipalities with our data and our demographics entered into it. And I'm not gonna say it's a template, but it is a comparison to other municipalities, that those that align with them. And I don't think, from what I've seen, there's any changes to what is needed. And I'm just saying, from my point of view.
all right, well, let's do this. Let's take a break right now. And, take a 10-minute break and Megan can read it and then we'll continue the discussion. So we will break at 8:06.
Jan, are you there?
Yeah.
So we're kicked out?
I don't know what he did. Jim should be running the show, but
No, Jim's on vacation this week.
yeah, I know. I mean, I think the plan's good. We'll amend it next year if we have to. I think the amendment would be good. We could do it now, but I think the thing is
Maybe.
fine as it is, you know?
Or maybe next year too, so that'll come out in
What's
the next.
that, Ned? What's
Or
that,
maybe-
Ned?
Ah, okay,
No,
sorry. I
no,
thought,
yeah,
there you go.
there you go. Okay.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go. Are we good? John, we
What
all
do you,
good?
yeah, what are you saying, Ned? Tell me again.
Apologize, we have to call the town engineer.
There'll be a little something extra in your paycheck, but thank
All
you.
right, so we have, an amended motion. Item 18 is amended to include the dates 2023 to 2028. So, I'll call for a vote on item 18 as amended. All those in favor?
Hi.
Oh, hold on. Do we
Aye.
vote on the amendment? All those in favor of the amendment?
Hi.
Aye,
Now we will vote on the motion as amended, by adding those new dates. All those in favor?
Hi.
aye,
Opposed? Good. All right, pension restructure plan. I brought with us tonight, John Lawler from HR and Nick Rello, labor attorney. But just by way of background,
Jim figured it out.
just want to note for the record that several Burgess have sent me an email that states a lot of misinformation about our pension restructure plan. So as we know, in 2012, the borough eliminated pensions. So no one after 2012 is eligible for a pension. Previously to them, there was bonding for the past due pension back. But 2 years ago, we got permission from the state legislature to change the law and allow us to restructure our pension debt so that not only the people in the plan up till now, but all of their benefits into the future were calculated and determined because we now know who is left, what their life expectancies are, and we know their spouse's life expectancy. So we calculated the total amount that could be owed until the end of the plan, and we restructured our debt in a manner where we save 1.2 million a year on our pension contribution. So when someone says that we are spending more money, they're wrong. We're not spending any additional money, and we've already paid everything through the end of the pension plan, which means Naugatuck, Connecticut would be the first town in Connecticut to have zero pension debt at some point in the future. Number two, someone raised the question that what we did was illegal, and it's not because we did it by mutual agreement. Had we mandated it against the will of the unions, it could have been argued to be illegal, but we didn't. We did it by mutual agreement. So I would submit that the allegations in the whistleblower emails are clearly inaccurate, but I don't want you to just listen to me. So I brought with us tonight, why don't we start with Nick? Why don't you address the legal issue, and then John can answer any questions that come up, and then we'll go to the motions in the police, firemen's pension plan, all the retirement employees.
Hi, guys. So, Pete forwarded me the contract as well as the email that there were certain representations made. One of them being that we illegally reopened contract provisions with respect to defined benefit. But if you look at Appendix B of your CBA for the period of 22 to 26, there's been no modification of the defined benefit plan whatsoever. What you did is create an early retirement incentive plan through the negotiation process. So not in any way, shape, or form did it infringe upon the DB plan. It didn't change the terms of the DB plan, and therefore did not in any way affect what it had previously agreed to back in 2012 with respect to so it really does sum up the question that was posed to me, and I don't see any illegality here by either the union, the borough, or the
All right, so does anyone have any questions for Nick?
No, I'm glad you're here tonight to discuss this issue because, quite honestly, as a Republican Burgess, they apparently sent this whistleblower info out to people that are running for office this time around. I'm glad you're here to rectify or solidify the actualities of this complaint per se. And you know, I always hate when people send out a complaint to you and they don't sign it. You know, you got no balls. Okay, sign the freaking thing. All right, and then I don't have a problem. Then we can address it. But when somebody just arbitrarily sends something out, I get a little pissed off with that stuff. You know what? I sent it to the mayor. I says, Mayor, what the hell's going on with this? And you know what? He's the mayor. He addressed it, and that's a great thing, because now we're all on the same. Page. Thank you.
The mayor asked,
Oh, I get it. I
the
get it.
mayor asked me to address the legality, and I looked at your CBA, there's nothing of sort.
All right, any questions? All right, any questions of John Wallace? All right, so let's go to, item 20.
Motion to Board of Mayor Burgess recess the retirement pension plan C board at, 8:21. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, all right, so I'll call the regular fireman's pension plan C board meeting to order at 8:22, item 2.
Motion that the fireman pension plan C board accept the minutes of regular meeting of August 3, 2021. Without reading, each member received copies for review. Second.
Questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion that the fireman's pension plan C board authorize controller Allison Bruce pay a monthly pension amount of $9,282.77. Jason Alford, 208 Conrad Street, Naugatuck, per memo dated August 27, 2023, from controller Allison Bruce, effective July 16, 2023. Years of service that have been documented by controller Bruce. Mr. Alford was employed by Naugatuck Fire Department, 20 years, retired as a captain. Second.
All right, so Allison, is that you under the screen there? You don't have to speak, but any questions can be directed to Allison. Any questions or discussion?
I just want to mention that Jason Allen, he was captain of the fire department during a time when he might have been the only captain. That's why there's some question about overtime and so forth. And it's not a case where, as you're hearing, some departments where it's time for him to retire, so we're going to give him all the overtime. It didn't go like that at all. And also, this is not an early retirement. This is based on the older retirement plan. So he actually, during the time when, we were lacking some of the other captains, many reasons, he stepped up to the plate, he did the overtime. So I heard some discussion out there earlier that when the firefighters retired, they packed them overtime. It's definitely not a case here. He actually, came forward and helped the department out and filled in when they didn't have as many captains. They could have had it for time. And that's why. And once again, this is not an early retirement.
Okay, any further discussion?
Yeah, but one thing,
Go ahead.
when Fran's speaking, have him put that mic right in front of his mouth.
Comment,
That's
you're not gonna have it.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion, fireman's pension plan C board meeting, we adjourned at 8:24. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so now I will reconvene the meeting at 8:25 PM, going to item 21.
Motion at the board of mayor emergency recess to retirement board
Yes,
at 8:24.
8:25.
8:25.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, let's go to the retirement board. Minutes. Go.
I have it.
Right, so. I'm gonna call the regular retirement board meeting to order at 8:26 p.m. And we'll go to item 2.
Motion that the retirement board accept the minutes of the regular meeting of January 3rd, 2023 without reading, each one received copies for review. Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion that the retirement board authorize control house and Bruce pay monthly pension amount of $6,470.42 during including 211 Spring Street, Norwood, per memo dated August 28th, 2023, from Control Allison, was effective July 3rd, 2023. Years of service have been documented by Controller Bruce, who was employed by the police department for 20 years, retiring as controller. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on item 3? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion to retirement board authorize Control Allison Bruce to pay a monthly pension amount of $1,071 with Patricia Hart Home, Media Avenue, Waterloo, Florida, dated August 11th, 2023, from Control Allison, effective May 13th, 2023. Years of service and documented by Controller Bruce. Mrs. Hart Alvo was employed by the Board of Education 21 years, retiring as a special ed teacher.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any questions? Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion to retirement board authorized Control Allison Bruce to pay monthly pension amount of $8,392.33 to Robert D. O'Donnell, 211 Spring Street, Norwood, for memo dated August 28th, 2023, from Controller Allison Bruce, effective July 3rd, 2023. Years of service have been documented by Controller Bruce. Mr. O'Donnell was employed by the police department for 20 years, retiring as a detective. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion that the retirement board authorize Controller Allison Bruce to pay monthly pension amount of $9,290.55. Kevin Zanik, 211 Spring Street, Norwood, for memo dated August 28th, 2023, Controller Allison Bruce, effective July 3rd, 2023. Years of service have been documented by Controller Bruce and employed by the police department for 20 years, retiring as a detective. Second.
Motion and a second. Questions? Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to retirement board adjourn at 8:30. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And now I will reconvene the regular meeting at 8:29 p.m. Go to item 22.
Motion for Board of Mayor Burgess authorize Mayor and Ward has to extend the on-call injuries support services agreement. Kleinfelder, Rocky Hill, Connecticut, to June 30th, 2024. Signed work order dated July 11th, 2023 for work regarding WPCA as recommended by Public Works Director. Second.
All right, so this is the agreement where Kleinfelder has taken over about the work that Jim Bender used to do, where they monitor the olea of the wastewater treatment plant, and they also pay us upfront higher than yeah, so Jim Bender retired, but he is working for us as a consultant in one or two projects. Questions? Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to Board of Mayor Burgess approve the construction scope of service agreement with downtown sanitary and stormwater improvements with Kleinfelder, Rocky Hill, in the amount not to exceed $1,182,452 as recommended by Public Works Director James Stewart. Second.
All right, so Jim, why don't you start off here?
This is the proposed agreement with Klein Builder to provide construction services, so inspection, engineering during construction, bidding assistance, and such for the project. Funding is through ARPA and the CHIP as needed.
Right, so just to give you, because this gets a little confusing. So we have 9.2 million in ARPA money. We have up to 8 million available in the TIP. We have Connecticut Community Challenge money. We have SIP money. So just to stay on track here, this is for the downtown project, which will mostly be on Church Street and Maple Street. And we're using our ARPA money and some TIP money. So that I'm gonna say maybe 3/4 of this is paid without the money and 1/4 is paid with TIP. Is that about right?
It's about right. So we also have a contract with Kleinfelder proposed to inspect the Rubber Avenue project that's coming up. Rubber Avenue inspection is covered by LOTSIP. So and we also have our Cherry Street project. And
Those are subsequent motions.
yes, what I'm getting at is we're trying to use, since we've got all these projects, the 4 construction projects, potentially 5 going on at once, we want to use one company so they can maximize the savings and less inspection costs.
So what you're saying is we're gonna have Kleinfelder oversee most of the downtown various construction.
Yes.
Sense. Questions? Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion, the board of managers approve the construction scope of service agreement for the Rubber Avenue reconstruction with Kleinfelder, Rocky Hill, the amount not to exceed 1,210,438 is recommended by Public Works Director James Stewart. Second.
So this is the contract with Kleinfelder to provide the construction services for Rubber Avenue, which is a LOTSIP program. They reimburse us 10% above on the construction bid for construction inspection. So you'll see that's the next item. So the majority, high majority of this is covered by LOTSIP.
So
Direct.
just so everyone knows, LOTSIP is a state program that where they fund improvements to major streets, where there are safety issues in order to make the streets safe. So in essence, LOTSIP is giving us almost $9 million, over $9 million to build Rubber Avenue and reconstruct it to make it safe. And the roundabout eliminates the most unsafe intersection in Nugget, stoplights on Route 63 in Rubber Avenue. So this project, essentially, we're getting this money to redo those roads because we're making them safer in part by building a modern roundabout, which is not a rotary. It's islands that guide people in a safe way through an intersection. And it's a great state project. And we've used this project in North Main Street. We've used it for Spring Street. Now we're trying to use it for Hillside Avenue for the stormwater drainages. So to me, lots of is the
And the next Greenway phase.
and the next Greenway thing. So LOTSIP is a fantastic state program that's been working well for us.
This is not one of the over.
Well, they pay for the entire reconstruction. We pay in essence for the design,
Yeah,
then they pay for some of the oversight.
we pay for the design, they pay for 100% of construction, plus they give us a 20% over the construction cost to cover our any overages and the inspection costs. So, it's great. It's a great program if you guys are willing to come up with the design money in the beginning. And that's what you did for this. And there are other projects though, which we're gonna have to,
Question, Jimmy.
What's the name, Sampson still involved? I see their name.
they're involved in, gonna be involved in a minor way as needed to, if there are any questions that have to be brought to.
So have they sort of been, their position been sort of downgraded?
Yes, okay, yes, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah.
And of the 410,000, where are we getting that from? We're getting it from our ARPA and TIP, or is that 100%?
Well, I don't know which board kind of.
410. Rural broadband response. That's the engineering. 410,000.
Yeah, they already paid most of it.
Well, that's probably a tip, from the tip.
Let me see. Let's see. But if it's not coming from Watson, it's coming from. Who calculated these numbers?
We talked about 400,000 way back.
Yeah, we paid for the engineering a long time ago.
Well, this is an estimate of what the engineering during construction is. If it goes smoothly, it won't be anywhere near that. If there are problems with the design,
Who
then
prepared this?
client will, I assume you're looking at. Oh, that was Mr. McGrath.
Okay. Oh, that's why. All right.
Sorry, never mind. I don't know who did that.
So this isn't the 400,000 design?
I don't know what that is. I'm confused by what that
Yeah.
supposed to be.
Well, that's why I was asking the question.
Okay, it's a good question. We've spent approximately 400,000 already to design,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
So I think that's what he's referring.
That's just a sheet that he put together. And you probably should have put a notation.
But there's certain,
Probably should have shown it to the
during
rep.
construction, there's a guy out there that inspects the work. But the contractor's gonna submit submittals. I'm gonna do it this way, you have to approve it. The state won't cover that in their reimbursement. So we have to hire an engineer to look at how they're gonna do it. If there are any redesigns, then they're not gonna pay for that. So any engineering during construction, they don't pay. They'll pay for oversight and cost increases up to 10% over the.
So is there an estimate of what has to be reviewed by an engineer until it's done?
I think it could
Or it's
range
hard
from
to tell.
5 to 10% of the project, depending on how the project goes.
Jim,
Yes.
Jim, it's only me on the screen.
Yes.
Are
I'm
they
sorry.
are they gonna reconfigure those lights near North Hoadley?
Those
Somebody
are actually getting looked at by the state, Connecticut as well.
They've been looked at by the state for about a year. They're doing nothing.
They don't work that fast now, Jim. You gotta understand this.
Well, they've got a new program that they're looking at all the signals in town.
But it's gonna take somebody getting killed over there to fix it, right?
Get back on track. So, we are looking for a vote on 24. Any further questions on item 24? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion to.
Opposed.
Hands opposed.
All right.
Motion that the board of members award the Weber Avenue construction project to B&M Paving and Landscaping. 305 Butler Town Road, Oakdale, Connecticut, the amount of $8,551,799. This award has been endorsed by Northern Salem Council of Government and is subject to Connecticut DOT authorization to award the contract.
So this is the, lots of money that is going to the lowest qualified bidder for the project, BMW Paving and Landscape. Is that correct, Jim?
Yes, we received 5 bids. Lowest being B&W, and bids ranging from 8.5 to 10 million approximately.
And what has B&W done in the past, you have observed or looked at, or?
I spoke to several of their references. I spoke to FLR, their engineer, who gave them average to above average recommendations. Seymour for their industrial park, they gave them average to above average reviews. Spoke to their engineer, public works director. Talked to the city of Norwalk. Worked at the school, Silvermine Elementary School. They said they were excellent. Spoke to the city of Stanford. They did Strawberry Hill Avenue. Gave them above average reviews. Spoke to the city of Bridgeport, city engineer, who, I should say I spoke to him. He never returned my phone call. So the only person that wasn't terribly excited about them was Waterbury, city engineer in Waterbury, who would prefer not to use them. But it sounded like the only real comment people has is they need supervision, which is true of most contractors.
So the standard is lowest qualified bidder.
Right.
So
Who's the next guy in line? Just give the question.
The next guy in line, I believe, was Red Tech.
the bids were close, right?
Tech was 8.7, so $150,000. Was discussed with the state, what it would take, and they didn't feel that this isn't coming even close to being able to not award.
Was the Red Tech references much better than B&W?
I didn't reach out to Red Tech references. But I mean, locally we've used them on some tank removal and such, and we've had some good luck with them.
So if they need supervision, B&W, who supervises them?
Our town, the inspector we hired.
Do they fall under Kleinfelder?
It would fall under Kleinfelder and the town as well. And what's interesting is what you're gonna find out shortly is they're also potentially the low bid on the downtown project. B&W. So that's gonna be another question. Can they handle both projects?
But there's
Well, that's a different angle of qualified.
Yeah, exactly.
Are there specific inspection points? They dig everything up, put it in a base, now it gets inspected.
It'll be full-time
They
inspection.
do this, it gets inspected, they put down the pavement, gets inspected.
It's gonna be full-time inspection. But there'll be someone, when things get going, there'll be someone round the clock.
We're also going to be inspected.
Exactly.
And we all know, lowest bidder is always not the best bidder. We all know that for a fact. And I've been involved with capital projects in the world for a long time, and I just know that from what we did at the City Hill School for the roof, which was a total, it was a cluster, and based on a recommendation from the architect, what that was, and it was a cluster. I mean, it's just like, So at what point, as this project is moving forward, it's being inspected, and our inspector is not happy with how the project is moving forward in a timely manner, at what point do you cut bait and bring in the next bidder? I'm just asking questions, because
it's not very easy. Once you've signed a contract with them, they've got the 14 months or something to finish the
but I gotta
project.
believe that part of their contract, to me, would be an incentive to make sure that they're moving in a timely manner.
There are liquidated damages in the contract.
Okay.
And,
Because we don't want to turn this in from a one-year project to a two-year project.
yeah,
It's a 2-year
Well,
project.
we don't want
Yeah,
to take
it's
it from
gonna
a
be a-
two-year project to a three-year project. That's what I'm getting at.
I mean, the big issue that projects like this have is utility issues. You know, if the utilities don't come through the way there's planned, and that's our expectations, we're gonna have to start meeting with utilities right away to make sure that they stay on task, because I mean, you can't fault the contractor if you can't get the utilities to move their utilities.
We all know how fast Eversource is.
Oh, and we're dealing with all of them. Thank God we're doing most of the work now, but still some of it's not gonna get done until, for the Rubber Avenue project, we can't move the telephone poles because some of them go into the road.
And it's a big project.
Or they'll
It's
come
a
out
lot
a
of
week
money.
after it's done and
It's a
Stick
lot of
around.
money. It's a big project, and we just want it to move smooth. You know,
Yeah.
that's all. Because people are gonna say, well, they're gonna criticize everybody for making it, well, why did you hire them? Well, because they were the lowest bid. But that's the protocol. We have to be lowest.
Always qualified.
Lowest quality.
Exactly. If they can come, a lot of times, if they can come up with a performance and payment bond, and they've done project of this size successfully, which they have, so.
Jim,
covers have to be level.
Jim,
Yes.
is that a project that's too big for Cochiola or somebody like that?
Well, Cochio's is a paving contractor, so they might be parts of it, but they obviously wouldn't bid on, or they didn't bid on the project.
So then my next question is, what happened with Tocon, Tomaso, or whoever they're called now in O&G? They were too expensive?
Well, they never bid. They didn't.
So you sent the bid out, but they never bid?
It gets advertised in the paper, it also gets put on the state bid portal, which gets sent out to every contractor who's got their name. So everyone knows what's going on. O&G actually called me about the downtown, project, but about supplying materials. So they knew about it, they just weren't interested. They're looking to supply equipment.
Are they supplying to the low bidder?
I believe so, yes.
What about, I just want to ask, the person that's building all that stuff in Oxford, the whole project's down there, Stone, whoever it is, they weren't interested in doing it either. They have a place in Naugatuck, I think, but
We didn't bid it.
Well,
nothing.
Jan, this is utility work. They do construction, big buildings, things like that. They're in a different category.
Okay.
O&G, Tomaso could have done this job. They didn't bid, but, it would have been up their line.
How long does
Okay.
it take to authorize the contract?
I'm hoping within 30 days, so that's the reason why we're here now and we're not waiting until next month. We're hoping we'll get it in the next couple of weeks.
Because we know how fast they are.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
they want their intersection completed also, so.
Okay.
All right. So now we will vote on item 25. All those in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
opposed?
I abstain.
You have an abstention.
B&W was not final.
Motion to the Board of Mayor and Works authorize the mayor any more than change order number 2 in the amount of $36,000 to complete the design of the Fairfield Park and Cherry Street Storm Drain Project as recommended by DPW Director James Stewart. Change order will be funded through the Capital Reserve Fund.
Well, Mike's not here, so,
Is that the 36,000 I questioned and, when we approved this?
well, let's get a second. So,
Second.
Oh, yeah, Mike's.
what was your question about?
Yeah, wasn't there, when we approved something last time, it was $36,000 expense? Didn't I question that? Was that what this change order is?
Maybe, I honestly don't recall. But this is a change order, what happened is they designed and scoped the project that would have taken the storm drain out to Spencer, down Spencer and down Cherry. And although that would have been, ideal because it would have got this drainage out of people's backyards, it was just millions of dollars beyond. So this is really a change in scope and a redesign, so we can actually have a project. Although we're proposing not to, what we awarded won't complete the whole thing. It's certainly a lot closer to what we can accomplish in the future. So it was a redesign. It was a redesign
for the buck you got out of
Exactly.
$1 million.
Exactly.
All right, any questions about item 36? All those in favor?
26. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion to Board of Mayor Burgess authorize Mayor and Warren Hess to change order number 4, amount of $5,000 to support the site construction, review shop drawings, and make site visits and construction to the Fairfield Park, the Cherry Street Storm Drainage Project is recommended by DPW James Stewart. Change order will be funded through the capital reserve.
Yeah, so again, this
Point
is,
of, point of order. George Mundery just left for the night. That's all. Next,
Thank
go
you.
on.
this is to respond to questions, and as it says, to visit the site as needed and do shop drawings. Kleinfelder, through their contract, is going to be doing part-time inspection of the project, is also already doing shop drawings. So hopefully this will be, it's not a big number, below that number.
I mean, blank on this.
Yeah, this is the inspection services for Cherries. Oh,
Okay. Is Kleinfelder gonna do it?
Kleinfelder is doing part-time inspection, and this is gonna be filling in if they have a design question.
All right, I didn't see their name. Okay, so this is oversight. All right, any, questions on item 27? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion to Board of Mayor Burgess authorize that Mayor and Warren Hess to enter a real estate agreement with Wilmot Holdings LLC to purchase 45 acres of open space, $480,000 utilizing open space grant funds and borough capital reserve funds.
Okay, so this is, the 45 acres on Wilmot Farm that are between Duntown Park and the land to be purchased by the YMCA from the Wilmots to build their, the pavilion, their outdoor, summer camp and other amenities. So, we want an open space grant. The purchase price is based on, 2 appraisals. We paid the difference through, capital reserve funds that have been allocated to it. So, it's a great project because, when you think about it, it ties together Sunset Home that was here, then our land that we're we're talking about the 45 acres that joins that. On one side, it's gonna be the YMCA summer camp. On the other side is Duntown Park. So this really ties together an incredibly large swath of land into one very large open space conserved area. So it's exciting, and I think we did it in a great way because the reason the price is so cheap is we bought the land in the middle with the worst topography and left the better land for other people to develop in reasonable ways, and they're paying a lot more per acre. But this is, anyone who has walked the Mission 22 Trail has walked through there, and it's really exciting to piece together all these areas into one large piece. So to me, it's a great thing. It also gives us the long-term ability to have our Mission 22 trail on all building land. We used to have to cross the Wilmot property. Now the entire trail is on town or state property, so it will be there in perpetuity. Questions on 28? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion to Board of Mayor versus land surveying services with stone wall boundaries. All for Connecticut, and about $33,000 to survey and subdivide land, 308 Guntown. We purchased from the Wilmot Open City as part of the Borough Open Space Watershed Land Acquisition. 2022 grant as recommended by Public Works Director Jim Stewart.
Well, Jim, why don't you start?
Oh, thank you. We got several estimates on this project. Obviously, we need to survey the property that we're going to be getting and pin it and have a subdivision. So this surveyor, we got two other quotes in the range of I think 65 and 55,000. I guess we've had history with this gentleman. We've seen his work and we feel good.
Wasn't surveyed before we made a motion to buy it?
No. Well, we approximated. In other words, we approximated it to be 45 acres. So it might be 45.22 or something like that. But it has to, it's never been surveyed. So the deed will have to be exact.
And what's the purpose of subdividing?
So it has to be subdivided because the Wilmot property is going to be cut into 3 pieces. What they're retaining, what they're selling to the Y, and what they're selling to us. So they're going from 1 to 3, which necessitates a subdivision. But it won't be extremely complicated because for the most part, no one's building it. No road, no utilities. Now the Y is going to have some electric lines and things like that. But on the borough land, we're not building anything.
Yeah, and for a subdivision, it's got to be an A2 survey.
Yeah,
it means it has to be surveyed on the ground.
It's a good price.
Oh, it's an excellent price.
All right, questions on 29? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Right, we're gonna. I think we should do.
Motion to Board of Mayor versus authorized Mayor and Warren Hess through council to commence a condemnation action no later than 30 days from the date of this resolution pursuant to Connecticut General Statute Section 48-6 and 48-12 for the following property. A, 30 Church Street, MBLU AM 13, lot 22, W26, unique ID 061-8500. B, 0 Church Street, NBLU, AM 13, Lot 22, West 43, Unique ID 061-8600. These properties are supposed to be acquired by condemnation for the following municipal purposes: public park with support train station expansion, other downtown municipal and mixed-use projects to meet increased public parking needs downtown, as well as installation of and access to fire hydrant, also for fire protection purposes relating to rear of several downtown commercial properties that require access for fire protection purposes. Motion further authorize the mayor and school council to continue negotiations with the property owner for purchase of the properties for not more than 30 days following this resolution. This motion further proposes to refer the above referenced proposed condemnation planning commission for the report pursuant to Connecticut General Statute, section 8-24.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. By way of background, as we all know, we have an extreme need for downtown parking. We have completed a study that verifies the need. We have a need now. We're going to have a greater need when our projects on parcel B, parcel A, parcel 1 and 2, and other projects are completed. We also have a need to have better fire protection in the rear of the buildings, which are difficult to reach now because of 2 barriers that are imposed by the property owner. So we need the land for fire protection, and we need it for parking. Now, I will say that there are discussions underway between our council and property owners council to try and find a way to resolve this. So we're going to proceed with the motion tonight. If we find a resolution within 30 days, we will come back here and end the process. If we don't, we will proceed. Do you have any questions or comments?
Can't go fast enough. The fees are for making the park at the loaded go.
So there will be added parking for many places.
And the report says it's 134 spaces short of what's actually needed in the area.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting.
Everyone reviewed the report. Okay, we're gonna go with a roll call vote. They keep the same order?
Yeah.
All right, Mayor, yes. Deputy Mayor,
Yes.
Charlie,
Yes.
Dorothy,
Yes.
Fran.
Yes.
I will note that Burgess Bronco is now absent, and not really. Burgess Mudry is absent and has left early. Burgess Smith.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Howard. Mazeski.
Yes,
All right. So we have a unanimous 8-0 vote.
Motion to the Board of Mayor and Burgess to approve the future sale of property owned by the Borough of Naughton, Naughton Industrial Park and Radio Road parcel 0748952, consisting of 4.11 acres to the Planning Commission for report pursuant to Section 8-24 of the Connecticut State General Statute.
second,
All right, so this is Rocky, the former goat farm.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, Baron Simons, I believe we already have a agreement. but it has to go to, planning for review.
And this is to put a building there, you think?
Yeah.
I'll see if the neighbors say.
Gotta start somewhere. I think Theron is friendly with that. All right, we have a motion and a second. Questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion for board members, authorizing the full to boost the fund following tax refunds approved by tax budget changes. Now I can add it.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, public comment. So this goes out to anyone live or on Zoom. Is there any public comment? All right, second call. Last call for public comment.
Yep, I got a public comment here from Nick Keenan. I'm gonna let him talk now.
I can't, what,
His name is Nick Keenan.
okay, Nick King, okay. Nick,
Yeah, Mayor Pete, Jim Stewart, hey, Burgess says, I just want to let you know that I am here to answer any questions regarding the Kleinfelder agreements, if there were any.
you have a question, Nick?
No, Nick Keenan from Kleinfelder, Mayor Pete. For just
I know who you are.
commenting that I'm here to answer a question if there were any on our on the agenda items.
All right, let me say this. For those of you who haven't met Nick Keenan, he gets my 4-star approval rating for not only excellent engineering, but working on an expedited schedule that makes him and us a lot faster than the state and others. But they also do great work. So I just want to state for the record that I've been very impressed with you as project manager and enjoy working with you. So thanks for even listening all night. It's above and beyond the quality. So thank you.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
All right, is there any further public comment? All right, Mayor and Burgess comments. Charlie.
Nothing pressing to bring up, this time we're good.
Good.
Well, we had a pretty successful back to school day on the green. A lot of families came out and that was the first time from the community impact project, we were able to set up a table that talked about bully prevention and we had a lot of takeaways. I think that's and we're also engaged with the Board of Ed to do a bully prevention poster contest that will take place in September. We'll be recognizing them with a proclamation at our board meeting. Hopefully things will go well and we'll have the selected posters at the following board meeting.
All right, thank you. So, Frank.
Just want to remind you this tonight on the 23rd of the month, Saturday morning. They talk to the event center bright and early. And release for out prevention of veteran suicide. With the genders approximately 22 veterans per day who die by their own hands. Different struggles. But if you are not up to the height, then they can switch the film.
And you can also do a portion of it.
Yeah, is there any portion of the height? As much as the rules.
I'll tell you this, when you do it, and you finish, you feel really good about yourself and your time. So, really. Thank you, Fran. Bob? Megan? Rocky?
Just one thing, Sunday the 17th, the VFW is having their Citizens Award ceremony at noon at the Crystal Room. It's a great time if anybody would like to go.
What's the date?
The 17th, Sunday the 17th. Just get a hold of somebody from the VFW to get tickets. It's great that they recognize all the different emergency services and citizens in Montgomery. That's it.
All right, so along those lines, I may not be able to be there.
I'm the chaplain of VFW, tell that. The chaplain of VFW, yeah, what they call legacy fight.
So what, I don't understand the
Which is, I'll be there.
Okay, so I'm looking for a volunteer to that we all talk.
Right.
Okay.
Man,
You did let.
Okay.
Rocky fine. Oh, I'm sorry, that's it.
All right, so at this time, we're gonna,
Well, hold on.
From an undisclosed location.
I heard this thing.
Not necessarily.
First of all, Fran, the number is 563-999-2427, right?
No. That's not the number.
So there's a secret.
So we will call you. How about we call you?
Yeah, you got my phone number. That's fine. The thing that I wanted to say is I want to thank Parks and Rec for giving me what I call their Coyote Beast for a vehicle for the food truck festival on the green a couple weeks ago. Everybody was scared to drive it but me. Fran, thank you for getting me to get it started. Thank you for leaving me in the garage when it wouldn't move. And I didn't realize there were chocks under the tires, but I got it done and I didn't run anybody over, and it went pretty good. And I think that was a great festival downtown in Naugatuck.
Probably lucky you didn't lock the door on you.
That was nice.
When I actually started the thing, I got scared because I didn't realize it was a diesel. But anyway, it was a good time down at St. Michael's. And Pete, I'm sorry I missed you. I said you didn't come down, but you were there. Everybody said you were there, so I believe them.
All right, thank you. And we will now go to item 35, the executive session, inviting in John Waller.
Motion to recess to executive session at 9:15 for discussion of the following real estate, Bank of America, building, parking, Z, Y, and Z, contract out section 3, Greenfield, Rotary Field, acquisition of land, downtown parking, Church Street parking study, executive, financing district. Church Street, Peter Paul, property, Wilmot's property. Collective bargaining, street union, chapter 89 unit, chapter 90 union, police dispatchers, union, contract negotiation of the Western Hill condominium, pending litigation, advising and John Wall. Second.
Word. We got a call again?
Yeah, just call me. That's all.
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Who's the fourth?
All right, we're coming out of the executive session and reconvening at 9:51. And as far as matters emanating from executive session, I will entertain a motion that I be authorized to enter into a collective bargaining agreement between the Borough of Naugatuck and Local 130312 of Council 4, Abstain, for the period of July 1, 2022 through June 30, 2026, as discussed in executive session.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any I will state for the record that per our normal procedure, once this agreement is signed, it will be available to the public together with the accompanying documents. Having said that, are there any questions or discussion about the agreement?
Just want to say I think it's a very fair agreement. I'm glad to see that some of our hardest working folks here in town have done a good job for us. And in the long-term best interest of town, I think we have a very, very fair contract for all of us.
I think we all agree, and everyone is thrilled with the performance of all of our various departments. And we're also looking forward to the disc golf challenge between the park department and the department. Cool. Which will take place on September 29th.
Call the Frisbee Golf Massacre.
At 11 30. And I will say the park department is the only thing.
Practice.
Yeah.
I just like to add that, you know, regardless of what is said in the contract, the overwhelming approval I feel from this board is that due to your past performance, that alone qualifies you guys to get the contract.
All right. Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Passes unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you.
One more motion, Bob.
Hold on, John. Hold on, Jan.
No, not you, John.
You are good. John,
You may leave now.
Hey, you got a long ride? Juan?
Long
Long ride?
Now he's long.
He's pushing us to adjourn and he's got a long ride. Later, bro.
See ya.
We have a motion.
Well, you know what, one thing I forgot to say was that, we all know that, Gigi.
Yes.
Has moved out of town.
No.
And she's no longer involved with,
She will be through October.
yeah, but, she's a tremendous asset. Unbelievable. That park department and fundraising, yeah, she's from the southern.
What the heck?
So, she's gonna be a missed person.
So she'll participate in the.
She had a
She had a
difficult
situation.
living in the.
Yes.
I'm having coffee with her on the 19th and I'm gonna cry.
Oh,
But I just have to figure I got to say that. She's
And Pete, I won't be at that meeting at 11 o'clock that day because I'm gonna be with Gigi. So,
Okay.
Thank God.
okay, I'm a motion to adjourn at 10 o'clock.
Second.
All those in
second,
favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
aye.